Nicolas Cage plays Peter Lowe, a New York literary agent who spends his days tormenting his secretary Alva and his nights in the bars looking to hook up. But Peter bites off more than he can chew when he takes home a beautiful vampire who takes a bite out of him. And if you want to take a bite out of winning this copy of Vampire's Kiss from the MVD Rewind Collection, be sure to stick around to the end of the video. So after watching and having an absolute blast with Renfield, I decided to pay a visit to Nicolas Cage's vampiric roots. Now, whether you've seen Vampire's Kiss or not, I'm sure you're familiar with the memes. As a matter of fact, Vampire's Kiss has to be one of the most memed movies ever. A status which has to be both a blessing and a curse. People know of the movie because of the memes, but have probably written it off as a bad movie because of the memes. And Vampire's Kiss isn't a bad movie. In fact, I think it's a pretty smart black comedy that's a bit deeper than you'd think. But, and I mean this with all due respect to everyone who worked both in front of and behind the camera, Vampire's Kiss is the Nick Cage show. Period. Cage is in rare form here when it comes to his operatic and expressionistic acting style. Some call it over the top. I call it uncaged. Some may say he's chewing the scenery. I say he's devouring the scenery, and everyone in it alive. No other actor could have brought what Cage brings to this character, all the way down to Lowe's odd accent, which Cage developed because he felt like the character wanted to sound more intelligent and elegant than he really is. And there's moments in the film where, when Lowe's guard is down, the accent goes away. It's Cage's mannerisms, his line delivery, his facial gestures. Cage doesn't just act, he transforms into the character, or his vision of the character. In this case, the character in question isn't a very swell guy to begin with, but once he starts vamping out, he develops a zero-tolerance policy for filing errors. Instead of stalking and seducing women in the night to feed his unquenchable bloodlust, he prefers to torment the living crap out of his secretary, played by Maria Conchita Alonso, pay visits to his psychiatrist to vent about his relationship woes, and entertain Jennifer Beals, who visits him periodically to drink his blood. And all that may only be happening in his head. Yeah, there's some definite shades of American Psycho here. As a matter of fact, Christian Bale took inspiration from Nicolas Cage's performance in Vampire's Kiss prior to playing Patrick Bateman. There are so many memorable and just insane moments in this movie, from Lowe chasing Alva down a hallway and into the ladies' room because she's yet to locate a contract for him that is of no real importance whatsoever. Lowe's treatment of Alva gets increasingly worse the deeper he descends into vampirism. It actually gets pretty dark. Honestly, I felt really bad for Alva, and Maria Conchita Alonso's performance is quite good. There's another scene where Lowe enters a nightclub, wide-eyed and with plastic fangs in his mouth, in search of a victim. And Cage is channeling his very best Max Schreck from Nosferatu during this sequence. Cage even went so far as to eat a real cockroach while making this movie. Sure, he could have faked it. It could have been like a plastic fake cockroach, or a piece of chocolate in the shape of a cockroach. But no, he is dedicated. Maybe too dedicated. And of course, there's this scene.
I'm a vampire! 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 I'm a vampire!
And I've really only scratched the surface when it comes to the insanity. But just focusing on Cage's tour de force performance as the central attraction of the movie, even though it is still kinda unfair. Vampire's Kiss is, at its core, a misunderstood black comedy. It's not just a movie about a guy who thinks he's a vampire. The vampire, one could interpret as a metaphor for the pressures that drain modern man's sense of self and mental stability until we're all just dried up husks, going through the motions. It's an allegory for loneliness and isolation and the inability to develop meaningful relationships with others or something. Aside from all that, Vampire's Kiss is a well-made movie. The cast is strong all around, and there's this strange dichotomy at work that's both humorous and sad. Vampire's Kiss is a strange, sad, and insane movie with an unforgettable performance from Nicolas Cage. Of course, I recommend it. As for this Blu-ray release, part of the MVD Rewind Collection, I thought it both looked and sounded pretty good. The overall picture quality here is crisp with fairly vibrant colors and a nice level of detail during the well-lit sequences. There is some minor damage and wear present, but it's not overbearing at all. As for the audio quality, this release features an LPCM 2.0 stereo track. I thought the audio sounded clean and clear. I'd give both the picture quality and the audio quality on this release a solid 4 out of 5. This release comes with a slipcase, the sleeve is reversible, and we get a poster. As far as extras are concerned, we get a photo gallery and an audio commentary with director Robert Bierman and Nicolas Cage. They discuss how Nicolas Cage was originally cast in the film, then backed out. Judd Nelson was then cast in the lead, then he backed out, then finally Cage was back in. Cage discusses how his performance in Vampire's Kiss is his favorite performance that he's ever done. He discusses the accent, his acting style, eating the cockroach, being inspired by Max Schreck, and more. A very entertaining and informative commentary with Mr. Bierman and Mr. Cage. This is a solid release for Vampire's Kiss from the fine folks over at MVD Rewind Collection. If you're a fan of the movie, then this release definitely needs to be in your collection. If you'd like to win this release and add it to your collection, all you need to do is leave a comment down in the comments section below letting me know what your favorite overall Nicolas Cage performance is. The giveaway is only open to residents of the U.S. You must be at least 18 years of age to enter, and please, only one entry per person. The winner will be announced on my Instagram 2 weeks from the day this video is posted, so if you're not following me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. If you've seen Vampire's Kiss, please let me know your thoughts on the film down in the comments below. If you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up and share it on social media. If you're not following me on social media, those links are in the description. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, and until next time.
I'm a vampire! 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 I'm a vampire!
Thank you to all my patrons and channel members. I appreciate your generosity and support of my channel. Become a patron today and have a say in what content appears on my channel. Join me for monthly live streams and much more. Become a channel member today and get access to exclusive badges and emotes to use when I stream. Both those links are in the description. Say hello to the internet, Jeremy.
Hello to the internet.